you? I hope everything is okay with you this morning.
Everything is okay in Geneva. Everything is going great. And with me today, there's going to be two other representatives of FBA, the Deputy CEO, Christian Dobrev, and our Admissions Director, Camille Boucher as well. And thank you very much for having us.
Thank you to you. Thank you to you. And welcome as well to Christian and to the rest of your team. To invite the agents always to remain on mute modality. I know in the beginning, some of you maybe are not used to use Zoom, and we fully understand there is absolutely not a problem, but it's very important in order to run this workshop smoothly to remain on mute modality. If not, we have to unmute you all the time. This is fundamental to remain on mute modality. Thank you very much to everyone. I know today will be a lot of agents coming from all around the world. We are now reaching quite 50 agents in the next 20-30 seconds. And I can see that more are in pipeline to come inside the Dorian. You have to be a little bit patient. It always takes about 1 minute until everything is going up. And everything is recorded. So for all the agents who will join us today, until the end, logically, they will receive a copy of the recorded workshop. And if everything is okay, you will receive as well an agreement that you can start to work with FBA. Dorian, tell me a little bit, what is exactly FBA? I mean, we are all curious because we all get the news about FBA, Football Business Academy. We know the Qatar, everyone was watching the Qatar now in December, the World Cup, and I don't remember who win. The Argentina. The Argentina win, exactly correct. But I think we saw many interesting match game as well from the African side. I remember as well from the Middle East, there was a fantastic game as well. And I think as well, the European did not play very bad, but it can be better maybe in the future. So this is a world where a lot of young people want to enter. They want to enter, they want to work in the football business world. And through FBA, this is possible. You have now some years of experience. You have a testimonial of students who are already working in top club, like maybe you can mention a few. You mentioned to me some, but I let you speak.
Yeah, of course. We'll get to it during the presentation, Richard. A lot to cover here. Yeah, we have students working now at FIFA, UEFA. They worked for Borussia Dortmund, PSG, Manchester City. So obviously big names there. Yeah, you mentioned it. I mean, the World Cup and the football industry in general is getting bigger and bigger. It's almost a 25 billion industry right now, and it's growing as everybody knows, year after year. And you know, it requires workforce and smart people, smart, young, fresh talents. It's an industry full of passion, obviously. I'm sure many of you here grew up, you know, with watching football games, and everybody was dreaming somehow to work inside this industry. So we launched the FBA, I think it was 5 or 6 years ago now, and the popularity of the program is growing tremendously. And so, you know, we created that program that was entirely designed to help young people getting into the football industry. So we will cover that during the presentation, showing, you know, like how is our program scheduled, you know, like all the master program that we have, and all the tools that we give, you know, to those talents to enter the industry. And that's why me as a CEO, this is my number one KPI, right? It's to have a maximum of people that join the FBA to get into the football industry. And I mean, with 91% of people getting into the industry, of our students, sorry, it's for us, it's an amazing number.
I remember before to this workshop, we had several discussions together with the rest of your team. And you mentioned that quite all of the students who study at your school have a job now, or they find a job, the one who finished last year, I'm talking about, not the one actually.
Yeah, so no, it's actually funny because we have 2 editions per year, and the one that will finish in March, this March in 2 months, 20% of them 2 months before finishing have already a job. So that's for us amazing. I will explain as well again how we get there. But we have this statistic of 91% of our alumni finding a job in the industry within 3 months after their graduation. So yeah, it's a very unique program, I would say, in the way it has been tailor-made. Again, I'm very excited to present that to all the representatives around that have joined us today. Thank you very much to everyone for attending, by the way. So yeah, this is true, and I'm looking forward to explain that.
Fantastic, fantastic. We are ready. You can start with the presentation.
Yes.
This is a school for male and female. It's not only for male, but it's for male and female. Very, very important. So because there are a lot of female want to enter in this business as well. And we are looking to find a lot of female, by the way. Please, you can share your screen and you can start with the presentation with your team.
Thank you very much, Richard. So I will just share my screen very quickly, and then normally you should all see the presentation right now.
Correct.
That's great. So just to start and to explain a bit again the concept, the FBA, so it's a professional master program that has been created in 2017, and here you have a picture. I think it was important for us to show you a picture of the graduation of the last summer. And before starting and getting into details, we wanted to show you a video that will explain a bit more, the experience of our students.
After 5 years growing in the industry, we all come together for a passion that beats in our hearts. Football. Is leading the transformation in football business education.
Welcome to your classes of entrepreneurship and innovation in football.
A worldwide ecosystem with no frontiers. With over 100 alumni taking their first steps into the football industry. Game changers sharing knowledge and ideas within a dynamic field. Providing internships that turned into careers. And equal access to opportunities. With the trust of forward-thinking partners. A passion that runs deep inside, enhanced by unique learning experiences. It's been 5 years developing. Racing the next generation to new heights. We are a family. We are innovators. We are. Let's build the future of football together.
Very nice video, Dorian, very nice. Logically, at the end of the workshop, for all the agents who will be here until the end, we will share a copy of the video, we will share a copy of the PowerPoint presentation so that you can show this to your network of students. And I would like to take a short second more, Dorian. Welcome to the rest of the agents who just finally entered here today. Nice to have you so many. Now is getting ready for the real presentation. This was just a short video presentation about FBA. Dorian, is all yours.
Thank you very much, Richard, and welcome to everyone who's joining us. So I'm happy that you had the chance to see this video that highlight a bit what we are doing since 5 years. So here are some key information that I wanted to share with all of you. So first of all, the FBA was created in 2017 with the idea, obviously, of professionalizing the football industry. And we started with 8 students, and now we have more than 35 to 40 by edition, and it's growing and growing. The demand is growing, so that's something very positive. And I'm sure that with the addition of different representatives that want to join us in this journey, it will continue to grow. We have 2 editions per year, so that is something very important. We have 1 edition that starts every September and 1 that starts every March. So the next edition will start in 2 months, and so there is still time for representatives to find different students or present the program to different students. And if they want to join us in the next 2 months, it will be a pleasure to have them. It's a 60 CTS credit program, so with the 1,800 hours of work during the year. And we have more than 50 experts that are teaching at the FBA. So this is something very important to mention, because all experts are people from the industry. We are a master degree that want to promote a lot about the real experience. And so some professors are coming from Real Madrid, they are coming from AS Monaco, from UEFA, Bayern Munich, FIFA. And so they share their experience, their real case experience with all of the students during the year. It also allows our students to create already a great network with them and to start their career in the industry with a solid network. It's a blended program. So when we mention blended, this is a really truly blended program. During 1 year, students have the chance to have online courses, to have on-site courses, to have internships, guaranteed internships by contract, and they have different field trips. So you see, it's a 4 areas blended program. And last but not least, and actually it's one of the most important part of our program, we work with more than 75 partners. And the 75 partners that are just here, all back our program. So that was the strategy of the FBA when we started this program 5 years ago. It was to be recognized by the football industry. Why? To give more chance to our students to find a job once they graduate, to have more chance to offer them the possibility to have guaranteed internship, to have a network. This is very, very important, and it's part of the philosophy of the FBA. So amongst those partners, you have clubs, top clubs like Olympique Lyonnais, Galatasaray, Benfica, Glasgow Rangers, Brighton, and Hove Albion in the Premier League, the English Premier League. You have WEBA and you name in Venezia in Italy. But you also have different federations like the Federation of Belgium. You have agencies, you have confederations. So we have the AFC, the AFC is our partner, the Asian Football Confederation, as well as the CONMEBOL, which is the South American Confederation. So this is very important, because the industry is always changing and it's always requiring more workforce. So allowing our students to be in direct contact with the industry, offer them more chance to break into the industry. Okay, so that's our part of our philosophy, which is divided in 3 key pillars. Those 3 key pillars are the knowledge. So we teach them all the requirements of the football industry through practical cases with experts of the industry, through experience that we offer through guaranteed internships, through field trips, through different, what we call the student business projects. My colleague Christian will explain you that more in details afterwards. And obviously through the network, which is key to enter this industry. So let's dive a bit more into our program. It's a 12-month program that is divided in 4 modules. The two first modules are online. So why is it online? What was the reason behind? It's very simple. We wanted our students to have the flexibility to continue their journey if they were still studying or working, before actually entering into the football world. Okay, and they can learn from wherever they want in the world. The classes are live sessions that are online. It's between 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. CET time, okay? And the classes are pre-recorded. So if the student cannot follow the class, he can always go to our learning management system and find the pre-recorded videos, the recorded videos of the live session. As you can see in the module 1 as well, there is a networking week. So what does that mean? We bring all of our students to one of the top business, football business forums that are around the world. Okay, so they can meet in person during 1 week. They can meet all top stakeholders of the industry, and they can network between them. And sometimes they find as well internships there or jobs there already. So it's a very, very powerful tool for students to get, to get even closer to the industry. We brought our students to different cities around the world: Manchester, Miami, and Sevilla, to name a few. And so that's part of the module 1. So module 2 is also online classes. And what do they learn during those modules? So during the module 1, okay, it's an introduction to the football industry. So they have courses such as global history of football, political economy of football, law, or finance. In module 2, they dive more into the industry with more specific courses. They can have stadium business operation, sponsorship and partnerships, digital football content and marketing, media rights. So they get more closer to the industry before jumping into the guaranteed internship during module 3, which is a 4 months. I mean, it's a 3 to 4 months guaranteed internship, depending on the different students. So it's case by case, but Christian will explain you that right after me. So they go into the internship, and then they arrive for the last 2 months in our campus, which is located in Lisbon, in Portugal, where we have an agreement with the Nova Business School, and which is based in Carcavelos. It's a top-notch university and campus near to the beach. It has been constructed 3 years ago, so it's very, very new. And for students, it's actually great for them to be all together finally after their 3 first modules. They have during those 2 months, they have on-site classes where we teach them entrepreneurship, innovation, ethics and professionalism, leadership, football governance, and fan engagement. We bring them as well in different parts of Europe, okay, to visit stadiums, to visit clubs, to visit confederation. So we bring them sometimes to see FIFA, to see UEFA, where they visit all the headquarters. They have speakers there from the entities that deliver them some courses, and so they visit 4 to 6 entities during those 2 months. Finally, they have a student business project, which is a consulting mission for one of our partners. Again, Christian will dive into that right after my presentation. Okay, so before Christian take over, I'm just gonna, yes, Richard.
Yes, Dorian, I think you mentioned 3 very important points.
Yes.
The first one, someone who is doing this type of master must be someone who really loves football, who really is passionate for this, because this is not a normal job. You have to have passion for this. So I think this is one of the most important part of FBA, because logically they are dealing with top football club, like you mentioned, Manchester United, City, Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern Munich, Juventus, and so on and so on and so on. So I mean, to deal with this type of people, the student must be, first of all, business oriented, logically, because you have a special entry requirement, which is very, very important to understand. It's not that everyone can join this master program. Students need to be, let's say, focused on the business world as well. It is correct, because I mean, when you visit FIFA, I know that you will show a video shortly about the visit of FIFA, etc., and when you come there, it must be students who are very in the business of business mind. I mean, Dorian, tell me a little bit about this part.
Yes, definitely. So we have, first of all, 2 types of students. We have obviously the hardcore fans that follow the club since they are very young, and they did like a bachelor program in business administration. So a large majority of our students have done business administration in their bachelor before joining us. But you have as well some people that see the opportunities in the football industry as a business. They are not so fan about football, but they are very intrigued about how it is run, and they want to get inside this industry because they see, you know, the potential to work in a very exciting industry. So I would say that those are the two types of profiles that we have, and so everybody again is welcome as long as they have a bachelor degree or they have a minimum of 3 years of experience in the business field. It can be in different fields. It can be operations, it can be sales, it can be marketing, but they need to have that background.
Thank you very much, Dorian. Thank you. Let's move on with the next slide or video.
Yes. So before I leave the floor to my colleague Christian, that will talk more about you know, I think what is our really USP here. It's the guaranteed internship. I will just show you a quick video about the experience of the internship for our students, and then Chris will take over.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Internships are key in the football industry. My name is Aldo Viedo, marketing executive at Club de Fútbol Fuenlabrada. This is experience that I'm enjoying a lot. I'm learning from the people inside, and it's something amazing if you want to develop a career in the football industry. Every candidate has gone through a tailor-made process to identify the best internship.
I am Matteo Lombardi. I'm working for the Venezia FC. The fact that FBA guaranteed me the internship was an essential point for me. They give you the opportunity to play the ball. There was an opportunity for me also to grow inside of the club. We passed from the second division to the first division, and that moment I will not forget.
I am Matteo Londoño, Marketing and Sponsorship Junior Executive at Fuenlabrada Football Club. I chose the FBA because this master's degree gets me the chance to get into the industry and work from the inside.
And I'm Zara Shah from 11 Sports.
The FBA, they ask you what exactly you want to do, you know, what area you want to work in. I didn't expect it to be as good as I wanted because I said I wanted to work in media. I also did a campaign with them. It was a campaign to welcome back the season. We had some football players from the league and we had some actors. So I was one of the actors and it was a really fun experience.
I see myself working in a sponsorship area in a football organization, and these are my first steps.
For me, it was essential because they give you the opportunity to enjoy this work.
Joining the FBA was an important decision. I know it was the good choice because it offers me the tools to work in football.
This can open the doors of your future career.
Let's build the future of football together.
Nice testimonial, Dorian. So we are looking forward to welcome your colleague now for the next presentation. We want that he come on board and he speak about the guarantee internship, which I think is very, very important. And we can see here some very, very important name like FIFA, UEFA, Bayern Munich, and so on and so on. I mean, this is this speak alone.
Thank you, Richard, and thank you, Dorian, as well. Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you today and tell you a little bit more about where the magic happens at the FBA, as they say. As you saw in the previous video, these candidates of ours, this part of the program means so much for them. And that's why also the approach that we take into finding them the internship is very unique. And I already, looking at the video, you can really see how dynamic and fast-paced this industry is because, for example, Zara, after her internship at 11, she landed a job at City Football Group. Matteo, after his internship at Fuenlabrada, he went actually back to his country, Colombia, to help a football club there to develop and grow as well. So you see in the next few slides how many different cases we have. So yeah, over the past 5-6 years, we've worked with more than 100 internship providers across all over the world. And if we go to the next slide, Dorian, we're going to explain a bit about how this approach is really managed, right? Because as Dorian said, this is probably one of our key unique selling points, which is probably what no other program is doing it in the way that we're doing it, right? And so the way we're doing it, we start at the very beginning already from the master. So as Dorian mentioned, during those first 2 modules, as they're doing the online classes, we already start looking for the internship. And the way we do it, first of all, is by doing a series of workshops. This is very important because it's very important for us, we've learned, to help our candidates to manage their own expectations, to share as much insights and information as we can about the football industry, because it's a very special industry. Once we do those workshops, we then send everyone a survey. The candidates, they can tell us about their interests, about their skills, their languages, their aspirations, and then we take that into information on our site to kind of like create a profile for each one. After the survey, we go deeper by having one-on-one conversations. So it gets really, really personal. We really want to hear how our candidates think about this part of the journey, see what kind of aspirations they have, and we also guide them. As I said, it's a very specific industry. There's a lot of nuances that are maybe different from other industries, and so we take them on this path by really being their mentor, their guidance, to make sure that they can make the most of this program. Okay. Once we do this part, then we start talking with our partners, because we find it's important to also understand what are their needs, what are their interests. And as we do that, we start to identify synergies, right? By getting all of this information from both sides, we know who should be a match. Once we do the match and introduction, the student can have a talk with the partner. Most times that introduction then leads to actual confirmation of the internship. Although if either of the partner or the candidates have some concerns, we take a step back, we discuss it, and if necessary, we look at another opportunity. And at the end, thanks to this tailor-made approach, what usually happens is a valuable internship experience. Some 2 key important details just to mention here, as Dorian mentioned. So the module itself is run over 4 months, but the minimum is 12 weeks. Why? Because 12 weeks is just under 90 days. In some cases, students need a visa for their internship. My colleague Camille will explain a bit more about that in a few minutes. But as Dorian also mentioned, we have had cases where internships have taken longer. And then also quite important, especially for the representatives that will join us on this journey, it's also important to recognize that the football industry historically has been very, let's say, closed and very appealing, of course, because imagine there's only a limited number of football clubs in any given city. And so there's a lot more demand than supply, which means that traditionally the internships are not paid. There are exceptions where the internship provider pays a little bit, but we always tell our students from the very beginning, don't expect the payment, prepare yourself financially so that you can really focus on getting the best internship experience possible. Okay. With that, we go to the next slide. Right, which is the internship areas. So as Dorian and Richard mentioned, it's a football business program. So obviously there needs to be an interest in both football and business. But because of our unique selection process and admissions process, we actually have people from all walks of life, right? We have people that have studied finance, legal, engineering, coaching, even all these different areas, which also means that depending on where are their skills and where their interest, we can actually place these internships in different types of departments and different types of organizations, right? So this is also a part where during that process that I explained just before, it's an area where the students also, they can tell us, what I ask them, like, what is your top 3 of internship areas of preference, right? And so I'm going to start looking for the internships first of all in those areas, so that they can go to an area that they're passionate and skillful about. Okay. So with that, we're going to go to the next part, which is the field trips, which is, again, as Dorian mentions, another unique opportunity, because we visit all these amazing organizations where the candidates can learn and network even more. So with the next slide, we're going to have a little video about last year's field trip to FIFA, if I recall.
Thank you very much, Christian. I would like to, before that you start with the video of the visit of FIFA, I just want to inform everyone, in case you're not familiar with FIFA, FIFA is the one who organized the World Cup in Qatar just in December, and is the one who organized as well the World Cup until back in 1930, if I'm correct. So the first one, 1930, is quite 100 years ago. So I just read a message from one agent from China, and he mentioned that the master is not recognized in China from the Ministry of Education. I want to inform everyone that this master is recognized from the industry, from the top club in the world, and as well from UEFA and FIFA. In fact, many students are doing internship, and I have a note here at the UEFA, if I'm correct, Dorian, if I'm wrong, tell me, and FIFA and Socios. Is this correct? Just to answer this question, Christian.
Yes, that's correct. So we're going to show a bit more about the employability of our students, which is very important. And at the end of the day, you also have to, look at it from the perspective that the most important thing for the student, for anyone that does a master program in general, is to get the knowledge, but then also to get the job, right? And with the employability rate that Dorian mentioned, this program works very well for that purpose.
Thank you very much, Christian. And we're looking forward to see the video of FIFA visit. There is no volume.
FBA to the home of FIFA. Being at FIFA here today at the headquarters, it's like a dream coming true.
Also getting an angle from different parts of the organization it's amazing. We have a bit of innovation, we get a bit of communication, the whole package, absolutely loved it.
Having this trophy in front of me is even more beautiful than what is it on TV.
I'm actually really excited to meet Simon in person. I was in touch with him before actually applying to the FBA.
The women working at FIFA are incredible. Hearing from Honey was fantastic. Knowing where she's come from, how she's worked her way up, just with that vision to reach the top is fantastic.
My expectations for the museum are that I really hope to get to know a bit more about the history and the values of FIFA.
So I think we all came away with a lot of useful information on FIFA itself and on the industry and on what we want to do going forward in our careers.
Let's build the future of football together.
I know some of your students went to Qatar as well and working there, correct, Christian?
Absolutely, yeah. We had probably between 5 and 10 students in Qatar during the World Cup. Some, working directly for the World Cup, others through partners, others as volunteers. So we had a lot of great experiences there, and happy to see them happy as well with smiles on their faces whenever they share their experiences. But yeah, this is definitely another key aspect of the football industry. All these types of events, because it's not only about the men's World Cup, right? There's also Youth World Cups, under 21, etc. There's the women. So there's all these events all year round. Every year there's at least some kind of event. We also have people working at Euro 2024, which will take place in Germany next year, right? So this is very exciting. And so just to give you an extra detail here, so with the current edition that is doing Model 4, they will have some field trips, for example, in different clubs in Portugal. And then we're going to take them again to Switzerland. This is a new group. But we're going to visit FIFA again with them. We're going to visit Young Boys Bern, one of the top clubs in Switzerland. We're going to visit the European Club Association, which is also one of our partners and one of the most important organizations in European club football. And then this summer, we're going to have the first time a visit to UEFA, which is also very exclusive because UEFA is very specific, very peculiar about who they work with. And so we are going to be only one of 5 programs in the world that have the permission, let's say, to visit UEFA for a field trip. So we're very much looking forward to that. So next, we're going to talk a little bit about the student business project. As Dorian mentioned, in that last module, module 4, they have classes, they have the field trips, and they have the student business project, right? And this is the second type of work experience that we give to our candidates. The way it works, as Doran mentioned, it's a two-month consulting project. So essentially, we talk with our partners, we try to understand what are their strategic needs, their strategic projects, and then we put our students into groups of 3, 4, 5 students to work on it. They get the introduction with the partner, they get a brief, they discuss it, they start working on the research, on the benchmarking. And then at the end of the module, just before graduating, we invite the partners, and every group delivers their final presentation in front of the partner. So it's, again, very exciting. I'm sure that most people, especially in the business education world, they're more used to final thesis, dissertations, which is quite more academic. This is more practical. They're working on a real life, project, which gives them very valuable experience and exposure as well. And so you see on the screen, we've done dozens and dozens of different projects, but just for you to have an idea, for example, with Olympique Lyonnais, one of the top clubs in France, it was on internationalization strategy. Club Nacional de Football, one of the top clubs in Uruguay, they wanted us to develop, or the students to develop a project on women's football strategy, et cetera, et cetera. So we have all these kinds of different projects. And what that means is that by the time our students graduate, they already have 2 football-related experiences on their CV, on their LinkedIn profile, which can really help and make a difference when they look for a job. And so in the next slide, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the employability of our students, what it's all about. So we currently have 56 candidates, as Dorian mentioned, because we have 2 editions per year. We have over 200 alumni already. As we started 5 years ago. This number is growing, and the places that they're working is just getting stronger and stronger. This network, is a snowball effect. By the time we reach 2030, probably most of our students will be the one teaching the course and making the bigger decisions in the football industry. We take a lot of effort to make sure that our candidates come from all over the world. So every edition, we have at least 20, if not more, different nationalities to really get that diversity of thought and mindset and experience, which is also interesting for their learning journey, for their networking journey, because at the end of the day, the football industry is global, right? Everyone is in touch with everyone. Players, they go from one continent to the other. People move around very much in the football industry, and so having that international exposure and mindset can really make a difference. Then on average, the age at which our students join us is 28, which means that there's a selection that will do the master straight after the bachelor. There's people that do it after 3, 5, 10 years of work experience, sometimes even more. We've had even people over 40 years of age. What is important for the representatives present here today to know is that this click can come at any age, right? This click in terms of what am I doing with my life? I want to work with my passion, which is football. Let's do the FBA so that I can transition, right? So a lot of our students are career switchers, right? So they have always been a fan of football. Maybe they've played it when they were younger, but then life took a different path and they ended up in another field. And at some point, they make this realization that football is the industry that they should work in. And then in terms of the ratio between men and women, most people familiar with the football industry would know that historically it's rather a male-dominated industry, but this is also changing. And so our ratio is 88-12. And we're going to explain a little bit more in a minute as well from my colleague Camille, what we're doing to try and attract more women, because the women that we've had on the course are amazing. They are working all over the industry as well, achieving great results, but they need sometimes to get a little push. And so we're going to explain about how we do this.
Christian,
if we go to the, yes, sorry.
Yes, I have some question coming in from the agents, and I just want to put this question on the table, and I want you or Dorian to answer me. One of the question came inside is, because of your experience in the last 4 or 5 years, how much, this is the question that I got, how much is usually the salary of a student when he finish at FBA? I know the world is big, depending on which country they are working. If they're working at Manchester United is one thing, if they're working in Colombia is another thing, logically. But can you give me some idea, something that we can answer these questions? This is one of the 3 questions that I have on the table. Dorian?
Yes, I can go with that. Obviously, it depends in which country, first of all, like which economic background has the country. I would say that in the Eurozone, it would be for the first job. Again, it depends. If it's a junior job, it would be paid around 30 to 40K euros. Okay, if it's a more senior job of people around 30s that already have an experience, etc., it can go to 60 to 80K. Now, if you go to Switzerland, say for juniors, it would be 60 to 80,000 Swiss francs, which is approximately today. I think it's exactly one Swiss francs is €1. And then if you have 35 years old with a bit of experience, you can go around 100, 120. But it all depends, because in Latin America or in Asia, it would be different. So, but if that can give you a bit a range, it would be great.
Even more in Japan, for example, they have a big income. In South Korea, we have South Korean agent with us today. Say hello to them as well from Japan, as well in Singapore. The income is very, very good. It depends as well in Shanghai. I know a fantastic club. I know one of my friends, he was coaching in China before, and his salary was huge. And
yeah, definitely. And just because you mentioned South Korea, actually, you know how our partners are important to us. And I'm happy to share with you guys that yesterday we just signed a partnership with the South Korean Premier League. So that the South Korean League is joining our family, and there will be a lot of opportunities over there. We have a student doing an internship there, and it's starting in the right foot. Sorry. So yeah, if that answers your question, I'm happy. But obviously, it all depends on the seniority and the experience, the previous experience that has a student. But it all depends as well of the area where the student is working.
Yeah. The second question came in was regarding to do this master, what kind of bachelor the students need to have, and if it's necessary to have a bachelor, because I know many people, maybe they have long work experience in banking or in economic field or financial field or I don't know, organization field, but they don't have any bachelor. Can you explain this a little bit, Christian?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've had people with literally any type of bachelor. As I mentioned before, some have done legal studies, others come from finance and banking, as you mentioned, others engineering. We've had people obviously with marketing, communications, operations type of thing. Data analysis is a very big trend in football as well. So, people that have those skills and education are very much, let's say, interested in getting into the football industry, because the football stakeholders, more and more are using data as well to improve the player performance, the game results, all these things, and also from a business perspective. So as long as they have any kind of bachelor or at least 3 years of business experience, they can apply, right? And once they apply, then we take them through the admissions process, and we see, we answer their question, we see if they're the right fit.
Thank you very much, Christian. And in refer of the last questions, then after we can move on. In refer of the internship, because you help all the students to receive an internship, and this is really excellent because it's unique that a school who offer a master is offering a guarantee internship. The internship is a paid internship or not? How this is working? I presume this will be depending from club to club, association to association. Maybe Christian, give me a little bit some information about this as well.
Exactly. Yeah, no, although it is possible for internships to be paid, on average, most internships in the football industry specifically are not paid. Of course, as you mentioned, in some countries, it is illegal not to pay interns. So in those countries, of course, internships are paid. But by and large, as we look throughout the world, in most cases, internships are either not paid or paid very little. And as I mentioned earlier, we tell our students this from the beginning so that they can really make sure that financially they're ready to cover their expenses for this 3-month period. And as we mentioned, the first 2 modules are online. One reason is because we have experts teaching from all over the world, but also to give the students the opportunity to continue working during those first 6 months, save up money to make sure that they can cover the expenses for the internship as well.
Yes, I have some very interesting message on chat from Mr. Upendra Singh, which is an agent focus logically on this world of students in India. And he mentioned FIFA, Education Ministry of India, REFF, SAI, and MOU, and introduced football for school program to India from October 2022. So as well in India, football is becoming very, very interesting. India is the new market now, because and I'm sure that the Indian agent, by the way, today is holiday in India, and I know you have a festive day today in India, so thank you very much that you joined me today. I know that it was your special day for all the Indian, and thank you very much. Logically, we will send a recorded presentation as well to all of you who attend. So thank you, Pendra, to up-to-date me with this information. And I think this is very important, because India will be a very important country to look into this business. And I'm sure that a lot of students will love this.
Absolutely. I know we've had a lot of alumni from India. India is a very growing market, especially in football. Obviously, historically, cricket, was, and I guess still is, the #1 sport. But I wouldn't be surprised if the next generation, is more football focused than that. So, and I'm sure that at some point India will organize the FIFA World Cup. It's just a matter of time.
Exactly. Even Bangladesh, I saw a lot of Bangladesh students who was very happy to watch the Qatar World Cup, even Pakistan. So this country who usually are very familiar with cricket, as you mentioned. Now they start to move into the football. Yes, Mr. Islam Tursa, thank you very much. I remember you from Bangladesh, but he just put a nice heart in the chat. So let's move on with the presentation, Christian, and welcome Camille on board as well.
Yeah, so just to go deeper into the different countries and continents. So as you see on the slide here, we have a very, very nice diversity between the different continents in every edition, so obviously a majority, 41% is Europe, but then, 18% Latin America, 15% Asia, 13% North America, which is also a very growing market for us, and then 6% Africa, 6% Middle East, right? So in every edition, as I mentioned, you have at least 20 different nationalities from all over the world. And that means that the discussions that they have between them during classes, etc., are so international. And sometimes, the person from India learns something about the person from Colombia, and before they know it, they have something very similar on their hands. So we're very proud with the geographical spread of our candidates. And then, as mentioned, this is at the end of the day what it's all about. The students, they pay the tuition fees to make sure that it helps them achieve their dream and get them a job in the football industry. And so everything that we put into the master, the whole approach, the guidance, the personalization, everything here leads to the fact that we have such high number of employability. As you see, 91% in the sports industry, 86% in the football industry. On average, it takes them 3 months to find a job in the football industry. As Doran mentioned, sometimes they even find it before graduating. And yeah, some examples of the companies hiring FBA alumni. As you see on the screen, you have the MLS, you have City Football Group, you have FIFA, UEFA, Red Bull, New York, Liverpool, Adidas, the Portuguese League, etc., etc. So we richly have this, as I said, more than 200 alumni now working all across the industry and helping each other as well, because we have a private WhatsApp group and a private LinkedIn group in which every week we share opportunities. We, give job opportunities that are, either available on the market, or sometimes, our partners and industry contacts, they contact us, say, hey, Christian, we are going to hire for this position. Can you recommend us someone, or can you share with your network of alumni? Because they know the quality of our alumni. And so we help them very, specifically with getting the best talent as well, because more and more, it's not only about getting the best talent on the pitch, the football players, more and more HR departments are also making sure that they get the best talent off the pitch so that they can develop the business side of the football club or the federation in the best possible way. So I think at this point, Dorian will show a little bit about our LinkedIn group, just for you to have an idea of what I'm talking about here.
Yeah, for sure.
This was my next question, Dorian. I know that you have a LinkedIn group as well. And
yes.
So all the students who study at FBA, they are here inside, and maybe explain how this group works.
Of course. So basically, this is a private LinkedIn group where all the staff of the FBA, the alumni, the students, the professors, some partners are there. And then it's really to share different opportunities for our students, once they graduate, or for internships. It's for them, like to interact between themselves and to get opportunities. So for example, we post job boards or different opportunities. Here is Esteban, one of our alumni, that is saying, hey, FBA family, Forza Football, the company you work for is growing. They're looking for someone. So every time there is an opportunity within our FBA family, this is where it's shared. And also we have Lucia Esteves, who is our head of communication. Every week, she's looking at different options, different opportunities, different job offering over different platforms. And then she will like highlight it inside our group. So students can directly apply here by clicking on the link. Christian as well. So as you can see, it's a really interactive group. And once you are part of our family, that helps a lot as well, the students, to continue developing their career, especially when they graduate. So once they graduate, they would come here, look out for the different opportunities. So we help them. It's not like we are with them only for 1 year. This is a real family, what we say, where we continue afterwards, working with them, helping them to find jobs. And even maybe 1-2 years, we had cases where after 1-2 years, they had a job in the industry, they wanted to change or to switch, and we help them getting a new job. So it's really an investment for life. That's what we say.
This is very, very important, Dorian, this LinkedIn page. This will help a lot for all the students who study, do the internship, but as well for the future. They can go always inside as well after 3 or 4 or 5 years if they want to find a new job, etc., etc. Well done, really, seriously. I think this is unique.
Thank you, Richard. So I will come back to the presentation very quickly. 1 second.
Yeah, and so in addition to the LinkedIn group, our channels as well, they remain open long after graduation. So me personally as well, I check in with all the alumni every few months, see how they're doing, see if they need help or advice. They also, can reach out to me or my other colleagues at any time after graduation as well, if they need help or they just want to catch up. Because at the end of the day, as we mentioned a few times, we're a family, right? So we're kind of like on the same age as our students, so we have that connection from a personal perspective as well. And so it's always a pleasure for us to continue helping them even long after they graduating. And actually this year as well, very interesting, we will be organizing our first alumni gathering event. So we will invite everyone that is available to come to the south of Spain, Sevilla, to meet each other, because now we have soon to 10 editions graduated. So some of them, they know each other, but some of them, they haven't seen each other in some time. And so these types of events can also be a big catalyst for networking opportunities.
Just
a question because of that. When is the date of the event?
22nd, 23rd of September.
You know what? Is this in Spain or in Portugal? Where?
In Sevilla.
In Sevilla. Because it can be a good opportunity to arrange a workshop and invite the agents who are really seriously interested to work with FBA to join this the day before or the day after, so that they will have the opportunity to have a direct discussion with the candidate. We have agents here from Egypt, for example. I saw that there is a working available in Egypt. We have agents here from everywhere, from South America, from, I can see as well from South Asia, Middle East, Europe, Central Europe, Eastern Europe, etc. So this can be a good moment for everyone to come together who are seriously interested and to talk to the students. You know, I have this experience with other business school who agents are coming, and maybe some agent want to speak with an Indian student, another one want to speak with a South Korea student, etc., etc. So this will help them to understand directly from the students the experience that they have with FBA. It's good to know, 22, 23 of September. We will talk about this later on, Dorian and Christian. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you, but we have 55 agents with us today here, and they are with us since the beginning. So thank you very much, everyone, to join, to be here, and to listen to the presentation of FBA. Please continue.
Yeah, just one last fact, sorry, Richard, but just to come back on the LinkedIn group and just what Christian was saying, I think, you know, more global perspective and education, I think personalization is key. Every student, when they you know, like invest in education in such an amount, I think it's key, you know, to have to make a really tailor-made program. And so that's also our philosophy here with our program. Sorry to interrupt, Christian, you can go again.
No worries. Yeah, thank you, Dorian, and thank you also, Richard, for this great idea. We'll definitely talk about it. Then, yeah, to continue on the employability, just for the representatives to have an idea. So 35% of our alumni working at football clubs, 20% at governing bodies, which includes the federations and the confederations and the leagues. Then agencies, you know, we have the distinction between the player agency that are, you know, dealing with the transfer of players, but also the commercial and the media agencies that, you know, are very important players in this industry as well. And then we have, you know, people in different technology startups. We have people that set their own project, and we have people in the other category, you know, which could be consulting firms, sports law firms, you know, it could be NGOs, all these different things. And, you know, especially with the clubs and governing bodies, this tends to be the highest, you know, area of interest for our students to work in. So we're very proud to see that, you know, more than 50% end up working in these types of organizations. And again, same as with the internship, the type of departments that they end up working in, you know, really spans the whole business reality, right? Which goes from legal to sponsorship to data, project management, ticketing, events, etc. And then to finish off my part, before moving it to my lovely colleague Camille, just for you to have an idea, the top 3 employers, meaning, you know, the ones that have hired the most alumni from the FBA, are UEFA in number 1, FIFA number 2, and then Socios number 3. This is, I think, you know, one of the greatest testaments to the success of this program. Of course, FIFA, UEFA are among the top most important organizations in the world of football, and so having so many alumni working at the organizations directly or the events that they organize, you know, as I mentioned, the Qatar World Cup, the Euro 2020, Euro 2024, and some of the other events that they're organizing is something that, you know, really makes us proud. And then Socios, for those that don't know it, it's a very, very interesting organization. They're the leader when it comes to fan tokens. So they use the blockchain technology to engage the fans, you know, all around the world. They work with top clubs, you know, Juventus, PSG. They work with the Champions League. They work with La Liga, you know, Serie A. So we're really happy to see that those top organizations in football are interested in our alumni. And with that,
the agents,
yes,
to make a photo of this, with UEFA, FIFA, and Socios, because this is the main of everything, you know, because this give, sorry, Christian, I had to interrupt you many times today, I know, but I know how I was an agent before. So this is the important part. When you have a student who really is interested to work in the business world of football, this is what you have to tell him. And this is 3, but they have many more jobs available. This is only 3 out of 75 partners. Correct, Christian?
Of course, yeah, no. I mean, the list of places where our alumni are working is very, very extensive, and it keeps growing every day. But yeah, everything that we do is really focused on making sure that, you know, people that go through the FBA program can have a job in the football industry and grow their way up, you know. And so I'm going to now pass the floor to my colleague Camille, who's going to talk a little bit more about, the tuition fees, what's included, and how the representatives will be able to become part of this journey as well. For any additional information, by the way, about the internships and the jobs, go on our website. We have the blog section where we have dozens and dozens of blog posts written by our candidates and alumni, in which they also share their experiences. So this is also a very interesting source of information for the representatives and the students that they work with, to get an idea of what it feels like, to be an FBA candidate, to do these internships, to go out and end up working in the football industry. But yeah, my colleague Kimi will talk a little bit more about the next few parts now.
Thank you, Christian. Thank you, Dorian. So everyone, very nice to meet you. I'm Camille, and I'm the admissions director of the FBA. So I will be your direct contact moving forward at the FBA. So now we will go a little bit more into technical details, let's say, and talk about the tuition fees. So our tuition fees are 30,000 Swiss francs. So maybe some of you are not familiar with Swiss francs. So it's around 32,000 US dollars and 26,000 pounds from the UK. What does it include? Of course, it includes the course material. So all the classes, access to the classes, access to the learning platform. So it's a dedicated platform. But most importantly, it's not only during the master, but it's like lifetime, forever. So it's part of being part of the FBA family. It's not because you graduate that you're not part anymore of the family. So you have access to the platform. If you want to, to come back 2 years after because you have a new job in the industry and you want to rewatch the classes, have continuous learning, it's possible. It's a lifetime access. That's super important for us. What does it include as well? It includes the networking week. So Dorian and Christian, they explained this networking week, and it's included in the tuition fees. What exactly? So the accommodation, we provide accommodation for the students during this week. We provide as well the access to the event, of course, with the ticket, exclusive tickets, networking opportunities, events, dinners, even visits. Okay, because it's a full week of networking, and the event it's for like 2 days. So for the rest of the week, we have visits planned to football clubs, to federations, organizations. So all of that is included in the package, in the tuition fees. What else? What else is included is the field trips. So Dorian spoke about field trips, and the transportation is included and the accommodation is included as well. So we take the students from Lisbon to the field trip location, and they have the hotel paid, they have the main meals paid as well. So that's all included. And last but not least, the most important for us, the guaranteed internship is included in those tuition fees and the career opportunities. So I think Christian mentioned it a lot. You saw the LinkedIn group. We're always in touch with the alumni. When we go to visit other cities, we have a WhatsApp group, so we text each other, so we can meet all together. So all of that is included in the 30,000 tuition fees. Then I'll go to the next slide, which is the payment options, because I spoke about the tuition fees, but maybe you want to know now how students can pay those tuition fees. So we have two options. The first one is a one payment, an early bird payment for students applying like in advance. And if the student paid the full amount in one time, in one payment, we offer 5% on the scholarship. So 1,500 on the scholarship. That's all the time. And the only condition to benefit from this 5% is that the tuition fees they have to pay within 2 to 3 weeks after acceptance. I think it's important to mention that at the FBA, we don't ask for an application fee. Okay, so the student can apply for free. go through the admissions process, then be accepted. And once the candidate is accepted, he will start to pay, not before. We don't ask for anything before being accepted for the master. I think it's really important to mention that. So that's the first option for the payment. And the second option is to pay by installments, okay, to pay in several payments. Super important for us as well to offer flexibility for the candidates. We speak about FBA family, but FBA family start during the application. We want people to feel comfortable. So we want to offer flexibility, and dates depend on the application date. You know, if someone applies right before the deadline, it will be flexible, but not as someone that will apply 6 months in advance. Because if someone applies 6 months in advance, he will have like 6 to 8 months to pay the tuition fees. So it will be much more flexible. So those are the two main options. But what we offer as well, as Rachel said, to encourage women to join this amazing industry, is a 50% scholarship. So it's exclusively for women, and it's in partnership with Women in Football. So it's a 50% scholarship on tuition fees for women that wants to join the industry, that have this passion, that wants to break the rules, but that are not financially able maybe to pay the full price. So that's it in terms of payments. And I see a question, so yes, that's a good timing to do this slide.
Camille, I have a question.
Yes.
Everything is clear with the payment, with the fee, etc. For the acceptance, I mean, this is a very, very important point. You or your team will do an interview to the students when they register. Is this correct?
Yes, it's correct. So once we receive the documents, I will talk about very soon. They will have an interview on Zoom with myself and most probably, and Dorian, just to get to know the candidate, because we only receive papers. So it's super important for us to understand who will be part of the FBA family, and most importantly for us are the soft skills of the candidates. See the experience and how they react, if they have the good mindset. So before accepting anyone into the FBA, we'll do a one-to-one interview, but it's a casual interview just to get to know the candidate better.
Thank you very much, Camille. Thank you very much. Sorry, I missed some of the question from some of the agents here before, and I apologize. There are many questions coming inside all the time. First of all, the PowerPoint presentation, this will be shared directly to everyone. So share immediately. Sorry, remain on the mute modality. If not, we have to unmute you. Thank you very much. This will be shared separately by email because it's quite heavy. So they will share usually via WeTransfer. If there's any issue with this, just let me know. And sorry, please remain mute moderator, Mr. James. It will be very, very kind because we have to unmute you all the time. Thank you very much. Sorry, Camille, to interrupt you one more time for this part. So just say that this was the first part, which is the PowerPoint presentation. Then in refer of there are some questions about the visa refusal, etc., etc. I mean, this is a very important point as well. I presume we have some of the agents who joined a little bit later, so they was not part of in the beginning. So this is why the question come inside. The program start to be online. The first part is online. And now this is a question, Camille, that if someone start online and then after, for any reason, he will be a visa refusal, what happened? This is a question that we have to look individually with everyone. But maybe, Camille, if you want to point out this question, I think maybe we can have a solution.
Yes, thank you, Richard. As you say, it's one by one, case by case, but in a case the visa is not accepted, the candidate can always postpone the internship and module 4. Okay, it's not because he didn't get the visa that he will be out. He can postpone to the next edition, 1 year before, 2 years before. We had candidates in the past that did that. You know, in the end, they couldn't do the internship, they couldn't do the module 4 because of their job. So what they did is that they just joined they just went on campus with the following edition, and it's super nice because they, you know, they get to meet other editions. So that's for sure that you can just postpone if for any reason you can't do it.
Thank you very much, Camille. One more point. I want to say hello to the African agent as well, because before I was mentioning different country, etc. Logically, this includes as well Africa. Logically, we are very happy. I presume, Camille, you had some African students in the past, or some who are now starting. Maybe Cristiano Dorian can answer me these questions.
Yeah, absolutely. We have had people from Nigeria, from Ivory Coast, Egypt, South Africa, you name it, Tunisia. Yeah, many different African countries. Also, Africa, very, very passionate continent about football and many opportunities, because you know they need so much you know, development that it requires educated, skillful people to go on that journey as well. So definitely, we also have a big opportunity for Africans in this journey.
I presume you did not have any student from China so far because of the COVID, the long-term COVID, or
actually we had one.
Ah, you had one. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. From which part of China, you know, do you remember?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think he was from Hainan province, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Fantastic. Just a question, you know, we have to go with the flow. Let's put it like this: when we get question, we go always with the flow in terms of answering the questions. Now, a very important point, and I know the question that came out now from the agents, and this is the most important. Some of the agents ask me if you're accepting Duolingo. Duolingo is an English test. TOEFL, Cambridge, etc. Maybe Camille, can you explain a little bit about the discussion that we had yesterday about the English level? Because logically she mentioned TOEFL, IELTS, but there are other examinations like Cambridge, Duolingo. Logically, they are all accepted. But maybe Camille, explain a little bit more about this part.
Yes, thank you, Richard. So about the requirements, let's start with the English level. So we don't ask for an English certificate. It's not mandatory, but we may ask if we think the level of the candidate is not good enough. So to answer the question, Duolingo is fine, TOEFL is fine, IELTS is fine. So, and that's why we do the interview as well, you know, to see if the level of English is good enough. And why it's super important for us, it's because all classes are in English, all events are in English. So, you know, it's important to have a good level for the dynamic of the class, and it's even more for the student. So you can be, you know, able to have a good experience and interact. Students, they have a lot of group work, group projects, like the SBP. They have group works during the online classes as well. So if you have a candidate in the group that doesn't speak good English, it will be an issue for him and for the other candidates. So it's case by case. That's why I put on the presentation an estimated level, so you can be aware of this. But if the candidate doesn't have an English certificate, but he has a good level, it's fine for us. So that's the first requirement. And the second one is the degree. So we ask, I think Dorian or Christian talk about it already a little bit. We ask for an official degree. It can be a bachelor's degree or a master's degree, and it can be in any field. It doesn't have to be related to football. Here we had candidates with engineering background, economics, marketing. So very different type of degrees. And if the candidate doesn't have a degree, we ask for work experience for 3 years, but this has to be related to business somehow. That's super important.
Camille, I have questions that came in. Now they start to come in question on the chat system, and it's a very interesting question. This has nothing to do with the English. In this case, it is a question, I presume, for Dorian or even Christian, who is working daily with this. The question is, do you have any collaboration with MLS where the candidate can complete the internship directly in the US without having the problem with the visa? This is an agent from Canada. Christian?
Yes, very good question. Thank you, Tanvir, for asking it. So as you saw earlier, probably in the tailor-made approach for the internship, one of the questions that we asked them indeed is like, do you have any preference for where you want to do your internship, right? Because most people, they, especially from outside of Europe, they look at, you know, Europe being the main, let's say, continent for football, and so their dream is to do an internship in Europe. But it doesn't mean that there's not great opportunities elsewhere, right? And so we asked them like, hey, have you considered doing an internship in your own country? Or maybe even like since COVID, many different football organizations, they're also open to the idea of doing a remote internship or even a hybrid internship, right? So to Tanvir's question, if a student from the US doesn't get a visa or would even prefer to do his internship in the US, we definitely have, you know, many different contacts in that country as well, and that we can activate for the internship purposes as well.
Thank you, Christian. I have more questions coming inside. This time, I think Dorian is the question. In 2023, 2024, Dorian, are you planning to have any short course for football team manager online?
It's a possibility, definitely. We're thinking about it. Yes, definitely short courses and online, yes. The topic, it will be defined surely soon, but it will come. It will come in some months or maximum a year. It's something we have in our mind.
Thank you. Okay, you can move on, Camille. Sorry that I'm interrupting all the time, but we are now getting question. So I wanted to put this question on the table so everyone can answer here. Please, Camille, continue.
No problem, Richard. Thank you. So first requirement is the degree or work experience, then the level of English, and the third one is the high motivation. I think we spoke about it during this presentation. Candidates, they need to have a passion for football or the football industry. So that's super important, and it's linked to all those soft skills that we're looking for. And which documents do we ask for? We ask for the copy of the university degree, of course. We ask for a CV, a resume. We ask for the copy of the passport. And last but not least, super important, we ask for a cover letter. It's a motivation letter. So it's just a paper that the candidates need to write, explaining why he wants to join the FBA, why he wants to work in the football industry, what he did in the past, etc., etc. That's super important because that's the first step. And this is where we get to know the candidate on the paper just before the interview. So this is an important point for my team and for myself.
Thank you very much, Camille. So I can see that from the beginning until now, 97% of the agents remain inside, and this is excellent. That means that is a serious interest in offer FBA to the students. Please, Camille.
Okay, thank you. Then regarding visa, I saw a lot the question in the chat. The good news is that for module 1 and module 2, students, they don't need a visa because it's online. And in my opinion, that's a big advantage because it means candidate, they can start very soon. They don't need to wait 2 or 3 months to do the visa application and then apply for the master. So they can already join the March edition and start doing the master and enter the football industry very quickly. Then for module 3, for the internship, they won't necessarily need a visa because they could do the internship in their own country or on continent. They could do it remotely, sorry. And in the case they need a visa, it will be case by case because it will depend on the location of the student. on the location of the internship. It will depend on the passport of the student. You know, some of them, they won't need a visa. Some of them, they're allowed to travel to Europe for 90 days without a visa. So it would be case by case. But in any case, they have the support of the FBA and the partner regarding the documents. Okay, I'll be honest, we don't do visa for students, we don't apply for them, but we give them all the documents, the supporting documents they will need, like certificate of acceptance, enrollment certificate. They will get an invitation letter from the partner. So we put everything in place so they can get the visa. And for module 4, it's basically the same. Okay, some of them will need a visa. It can be a tourism visa. It can be a student visa. It will depend on the country once again. But they have the support of the FBA and the support of Nova University, which will provide official document to be applied for, to apply for a visa.
Thank you, Camille. This is very, very important.
Mm-hmm.
The visa issue is a very important issue for the most of the school, but with FBA, as you can see, the majority, all the students enter with tourist visa. So because they don't have to stay longer, and this is a great part, and they will receive the support from FBA and from the business school in Portugal during the program they will have in Portugal. Logically, I will make with Camille in the next days, let's say a short webinar, like a 10 minutes webinar. We will record this, Camille and myself, about visa, and then we will share this recorded webinar to all of you regarding visa. So I'm preparing at the moment some information, and I will put this on the table. I will share this with Camille, and we will make sure that you have everything ready when you do an application with a student, so you can explain everyone how to move forward with the visa.
Exactly, Richard. And I will bring on board my colleague from the operations team, because, you know, he's dealing with the visa all the time. So he will be there as well to explain in details.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you, Camille.
Okay, so let's move on with the last part of my presentation, which is what we offer to you, representatives, agents. So as you saw, we offer a unique and attractive master's degree with the high employability, which is the most important, that the candidates, they get a job in the industry they like after graduation. What we offer as well is a full package of promotional tools. You will have access to videos, images, a fact sheet, brochure. I will share with you as well, like an estimated budget of the additional cost, you know, because you have the tuition fees, but then you have some additional costs like the accommodation during the internship, you know, those tiny things. So you will have access to all documents, to the exclusive platform as well, where you will find all those informations. What do we offer as well? We offer a live and recorded training session with myself. If you still have questions about the program, if you want to do a one-to-one, I'm super happy to be there. I will do as well one-to-one session with any potential candidate you have who is ready to apply. Okay, if you want.
Nipano needs forgiven. Nipano needs forgiven.
Please continue. Sorry.
I thought it was a question. No worries.
No.
So we'll have this one-to-one session with any candidates you have, and want to meet someone from the FBA team. So that's part of the package. As I said, I will be the direct contact. So I will share my email address, my phone number. If you have, doubts, questions, if you want to share documents with me, I will be the one. And the two last points. So as you know, we have the campus in Nova in Lisbon. So if you happen to be in Lisbon and you want to visit the campus, we would be very happy to do a campus visit and a lunch if you're in Lisbon. And last but not least, we offer a 15% commission, what we call the student support fee, but it's the commission, sorry, and it's a 15%.
Thank you, Camille. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you have students, your commission at the end of the day is 50% out of 30,000 Swiss franc, or out of 50,000 if it's a student, because you have to calculating always the fee, you know, the 50% is always on the tuition fee that you pay at the school, or the student pay at the school. I think this is a very good commission for everyone, because it can give them a good idea, especially for the one who are very passionate in football, that FBA is offering a unique opportunity for a unique master, and they will have a great experience, they will have excellent internship, and they will find a job at the end of the day. And this is the most important part, because there is a lot of job available for male, but as well for female, as we mentioned before. Dorian, you want to give a final conclusion of the presentation?
Yes, thank you very much, Richard. Thank you, Christian, Camille, and all the attendees, of course, for joining us. Obviously, you know, like we've been growing since 5 years, and it's the first time we're gonna work with the different representatives. So this is, I guess, a tremendous opportunities for both parties. And we would be very, very happy to have you on board with us in our family, to grow continue growing this adventure. And as we said during the presentation, we are very happy to offer a very unique and qualitative program. Again, for me, we do everything we can to help our candidates getting a job. So that's why we get these very high alumni rates. And yes, so anything we can do to help you guys get in touch with Camille. I want to thank as well Richard for putting everything in place. WEBA, that was an amazing presentation. You know, I think all those participants is an amazing pleasure, and I'm looking forward to continue this process with you, and to see you guys joining us during this adventure. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dorian. Thank you. I would like to remind everyone that at the end of the workshop, we will do immediately, we will do a follow-up email with all of you. Camille will take a couple of days, and she will do a follow-up with you. She will send you a copy of the contract agreement that you need to sign and send back to Camille directly. Camille will send you as well a copy of the PowerPoint presentation. So we are now working on this. Give us these 2-3 days time that you will receive everything from A to Z. Now is the right time to offer this potential master to your students, because everyone was talking about Qatar, about the World Football Club games that was held in Doha last December. So as well, I'm not so familiar with soccer all the time myself, but I know it was a very, very important game and everyone was watching. So a lot of students love this sport, and this is a great opportunity, is a good selling point. Because now students, they don't want to do all the business, financial, IT. Students want to have new perspective in their life, and this can be a good option. And I'm sure that you will have a great cooperation. I will work hard now with Camille to organize this short webinar in refer of the visa. I will work out with Dorian and Christian in regarding the workshop in Sevilla, so that you are able to come to Spain to talk to the students. We will have like a one-day presentation. There will be a PowerPoint presentation in person. We will spend some time together. You will talk to the students. There will be a lot of work from now on. And remember, there are 2 intakes. One intake is in March, the next intake is in September. So you still can start to apply students from today. There is absolutely not a problem. The contract you will receive in the next couple of days, including all the material. And I'm sure that this can be the add value in 2023 for your school portfolio, because we need to give to our students some new challenge, new opportunity. And this is a great opportunity because working in the business world of football, it gives a very nice long life and very interesting one. And I'm sure that will be a great experience. Dorian, it was my pleasure to be here and to have the opportunity to welcome you here and to have all the information about FBA. Camille, as usual, you're always very, very deep insight in the program. You are the lady who help us to make everything good in the administration way. Thank you, Christian, as well, for the explanation about the internship, which is fundamental, and the job. And I love this LinkedIn club that you created for all the students and for the people who working now already since years. Very interesting to know that you had African students, that you had students from China, students from Latin America, students from Europe who already did the FBA program. And congratulations for your agreement with South Korea. Well done. I'm sure that we will have a great job all together. Thank you to the agent to join us. It was my pleasure to have you here on board. It's always nice to have so many people that I know from around the world. We know each other since many, many years. And thank you to join the WEBA workshop. It was very, very impressive. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
have
you.
a good day.
Thank you to everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Richard. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.